Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales and thank you all for clicking on this video today. My name's Donna and today on my channel I'm going to talk to you all a little bit more about the MK Ultra mind control attacks that my community has been carrying out on me. I'm just going to speak a bit more about what they've been doing since the last time I spoke to you on the last video. If you are unaware of what MK Ultra mind control is, it is a tactic that is used to psychologically torture a person by a large group of people. So it's something that's carried out by a large community of people on one person, where they psychologically torture the person to either take their life from them completely or send them crazy or cause them like a heart attack or a stroke or something like that from the stress. So that's what my community have been doing. But before I go any further, I would first like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true and original custodians of this land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respects to elders past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching today. So people may be asking, why are people doing this to me? What is the motive? Well, the main overall motive is because it's a police cover-up that's being carried out. I wrote a letter to the police back in November of last year, almost a year ago, where I explained how I had been treated and how the police had responded to my calls for help during the time over the last 9 years while I've been living in family and domestic violence. So that is the main motive. The police are trying to cover up that. They don't want people to know how they responded to those calls because domestic violence is such a huge problem in this country. I also reported a pedophile in 2020 that the police have done nothing about. This is another thing they're trying to cover up because that person is still living in the community. And the reason the police didn't do anything about that person was to psychologically abuse me. That was a part of the psychological torture. So there's that, and there's also some other pretty serious things that the police are trying to cover up as well with the people that have been involved in doing this to me. Other motives include people that are told lies, because a big part of this mind control, this abuse, was that people told a lot of lies on me. A lot of my family told a lot of lies because they're all involved in it. And a lot of people who also had access to me, people that were either lived close to me or were close to me, spread a lot of lies about me, and it was all a part of carrying this out. These lies weren't little lies. These lies were absolute terrible lies. Some of them were that I was a prostitute, which I've never been a prostitute. I mean, to anyone it is, I'm not saying anything against prostitutes, but I have just never been a prostitute, and that was spread about me. It's also been spread about me that I'm a terrible mother, which has never ever been the case. I've always been a good mother to all my children. It was also spread that I was a drug addict, alcoholic, which I've never been an alcoholic. I did used to smoke pot. Yeah, I did. And I would still be smoking pot because I love it, but I drive a car, so I don't smoke pot anymore at all. But, people have called me a drug addict because of that. Also, people accuse me that I grew pot. Where I live now, I don't grow pot at all. They also accuse me of being a dealer. I've never been a dealer. They also said I worship the devil as well. So it was these lies as well as some other really, really horrible lies as well that I don't want to even mention right now, but really terrible, bad lies were spread on me. So a lot of the reason that people are carrying this out now is they were some of the people that spread these lies. So it's like the truth's coming out now and they don't want the truth coming out. So they're working harder at carrying out this abuse on me because it's like their reputation depends on it right now. I've just had the police going over in a helicopter. So the police have been stalking me constantly. Just before I put this video on, their siren was going as well. This is what they do. And they've just sent the helicopter over as well. I've also got people out here with power tools on right now. So I'm glad this is happening right now. Because I mean, this is going out to the world. And that's the whole point of making these videos, is for the truth to be exposed. And what better way for the truth to be exposed than for it actually to be happening while I'm doing the video. So yeah, some really terrible lies were spread about me. Some other motives of this is that some people have just worked so hard at this from the beginning that they've got nothing to lose at this point. So they're just, they're like crazed, obsessed people right now, just carrying out abuse on me from the minute they wake up to the minute they go to sleep at night. It's their one goal. Some of these people are waking up in the morning with the one goal. Their goal for the day is to abuse me, and that's all they're doing. They are actually dedicating like their whole life to this, some people. As a part of this as well, I've had no privacy at all. The people that live close to me have access to my phone, and they also listen to everything I do inside my home on a listening device that's been implanted in my home. So certain neighbours that live around me can hear everything I do inside my home, as well as watch everything I do on my phone. As well as the police can do this, and anyone else who's involved in it as well. So I've had no privacy at all for a very, very long time. And I just want to add that I have done absolutely nothing at all to any of these people, nothing. I'm a quiet person. I mind my own business, and I've done nothing to deserve this other than speak up for justice for myself to the police. And it's like I've had to just constantly defend my life for 8 or 9 months now, going on 9 months. I've had to constantly defend my life every single day because of these people. A lot of the people were taking part in this too because of the lies that the people that were close to me and my family had spread. So they had told lies about me to other people, and then those people were like, yeah, more than willing to be a part of it because they believe the lies. But a lot of the truth's coming out now that, it was all lies to start with. Another motive, my family's motive, the reason why my family is so invested in this is because they've stolen an inheritance from me that the justice system also helped them steal. So that's why they're so invested in isolating me and making this work as well. All of my family's involved, the whole lot of them. And another reason as well is because a lot of the people that I've had around me in my life are just so jealous and so envious of me, and they don't want me to have that money. They don't want me to live a happy life. So some of them are just doing it just out of pure jealousy and envy and not wanting me to live a good life and never have justice, never get justice. So they're just some of the motives why people are doing it. And some of them are just doing it for money as well, because obviously people are being bribed to be a part of this. So a lot of them are just low lives who'll just do anything for money as well. And I've noticed how right now it's really like people are really scraping the bottom of the barrel right now in carrying out these abuse tactics. And I'm a psychic myself, and this is something that I actually predicted a few months back, was that as time went on and as this played out, that we would be left with just the absolute rock bottom low lives of society still doing this. A lot of people would go through spiritual awakenings. A lot of people, their morals would just kick in and tell them that it was wrong and they've stopped doing it. So there's not as many people doing it now, but the ones that are still doing it are really working really hard at it still. And yeah, it's just like the absolute bottom of the barrel. They're scraping right now to do so. And yeah, it's people who have absolutely no morals. These people just, they mustn't have any morals at all to be doing what they're doing right now. And I've always felt like this was divinely orchestrated as well by God, by the universe. It was like a period that people have gone through where they've been tested. Like, were they going to be tempted into taking money for abusing somebody or not? Most of them have done it. Most of them have failed that test, unfortunately. And we're talking about people from all levels of society taking part in this, from people that sit in high seats of power, that abuse their power, to just regular people. And I really wasn't prepared to see just how many low lives that there are in our society, because believe me, there are so many. I am just so shocked by how many people were willing to be a part of this and still are. So yeah, the police, talking about the police that are going over right now in a helicopter stalking me, just letting me know they're there, just to intimidate. They put on a real show last Monday night at midnight. They set it all up where they had motorbikes and loud cars all set up to carry out a noise attack on me. They do this by using their siren as well. And they use their siren in the most ridiculous, immature way. Like, it's just so ridiculous. They turn it off and on and make all these stupid noises. And they had this all set up. So they had the bikes and the loud cars ready to go while they did this, while they carried this noise attack out. They also had people that live around me as well. Some of the neighbours that are involved in this, not all of them, but some of them that are involved in it. Also, at the same time as the noise attack was going on, they were running around my house, like around the block here where I live, like just carrying on like crazy people, making noises and things like that. There's also other organisations as well involved in this that are meant to be helping me, that I have tried to get help off, that are not helping me because they are also a part of this as well. So obviously, when the police are involved and people that are meant to be organisations that are meant to be helping me aren't helping me, obviously the people who live around me and the people that are doing this to me when I go out, like they're knowing that they can get away with it. So this is why they're doing it. The police, when I go out as well, they will stalk me when I go out. They'll place themselves at various positions, as I'm traveling. They'll either turn up in traffic driving, or they will be just on the side of the road. And the other day, while I was traveling home, I noticed a police car that was there. Like, they just placed themselves there to try and intimidate me. I thought, I'm not going to let you intimidate me. And I pulled up right next to them at a set of lights and I looked at them, and the police officer that was driving like had their face covered like this. And I thought to myself, yeah, like I'd be covering up my face too if I was wearing a police uniform in this town right now, the way you're carrying on. So this is the kind of thing they're doing. Not only that, they've stalked me with the helicopter as well when I've gone out. And if you haven't gone back and watched the video about the time I spent in the local public hospital, you can go back and watch that. It's about how I was treated when I was in the local public hospital. And like they were carrying out these abuse tactics on me in the hospital as well. The doctors, the nurses, the patients, all of them. And because they know the truth's coming out about this, because I'm speaking about it in these videos, they're having the ambulance drivers stalk me as well. So I'm being stalked by ambulance drivers when I go out. This is all to try and provoke a mental health episode out of me, which is never going to happen. If anything, these attacks have just made me a much stronger person than I was before. They've helped me to control myself. You know, I'm able to control my temper very, very well now. So it's never going to happen. But this is the mindset of these people. And it's happening to me when I'm in shopping centres a lot. And I've said this before on my videos. I truly believe that incidents that have taken place in the past in shopping centres where people have gone crazy with weapons and people have lost their lives have been provoked by one of these attacks, that like what's happening to me right now. Because I can very well understand how somebody who perhaps may not be as strong mentally would lose it, would lose control, just because of the way I am tormented every time I go to the shop. I'm tormented by grandmothers with their grandchildren. They will send lots of grandmothers with grandchildren towards me because my grandchildren were one of the first things that was taken from me when this started as a part of the abuse. They knew that was the thing I loved the most in life, so they took my grandchildren away from me. So this is something they will do. They will send a lot of grandmothers towards me with children. They will also send people towards me wearing strong perfume and aftershave. This has been happening. I talk about it on my previous videos as well, where they did this to me in the hospital. So they're doing that. Some of the things they do are so petty. Like they will even place people at the sets of lights on the way where I'm driving and have people push the button just so I have to wait before I can go around the corner for people to cross the road. They will also, like they've also sent people, every time I go out, I have people on the road trying to cause me issues, trying to cause me accidents, just trying to create delays for me, just making it hard for me on the road. This is happening every time I travel. I'm also being targeted by certain groups, certain races as well when I'm out. This isn't only happening to me when I'm out. As I said, it's happening to me every minute of the day. If I'm not out, it's happening to me in my own home, around my home, by the people that live close to me, the ones that are involved. The kind of things they're doing is using power tools. They're still doing this. This is happening right now. It's been happening this morning, people using power tools. They'll also send like clans of people just to gather out the front of my house, around my house, just to make a lot of noise. They'll have cars come and go and things like that. I've also had certain neighbours just constantly work very hard at trying to make me feel socially outcast. they just do things like they'll just do certain things just to make me feel like that. They'll just create scenarios to make themselves look really popular and like they are just like, yeah, such a social person. It's not just them. A lot of people have been doing this to me. So that's another tactic they use on me, just to try and make me feel hopeless and isolated. Also, the planes as well have still been going over. I mentioned in my last video, there's been light planes and jumbo jets involved in this. They will just go over for hours on end, one after the other. I don't know what they're trying to do. They will do something with the motor of the plane to make it louder. Sometimes they'll make the plane sound like it's going to crash. So I don't know if they're trying to, cause anxiety in the way that they are wanting me or others to think that they're going to crash the jumbo jet. What's going to be another 9/11 or something? Is this what they're trying to make people think? Because this is what it seems like to me. It's just like one plane after the other that goes over for hours on end, and there's just not a moment when there's not the roar of an engine in the sky, which is just ridiculous. Wasn't like this before these noise attacks started taking place. And they're using all types of transport to do this. There's truck drivers that are all communicating with each other on the road to do it. There's trains that have been involved in it. They're just using anything that has a motor to create noise and pollution as well. Also, not all of the businesses that I've dealt with lately, but some of them have also been involved in this as well, where they will deliberately create delays as well for me, and just to try and get that reaction out of me, which just isn't happening. So basically, they're putting their businesses at risk for no reason, which is really what all these people are doing. They're taking a huge risk because the truth's out. So I hope that everyone out there that's listened to this video can really appreciate why it is so important for me to talk about what's going on right now, because this is just so hard to deal with, what I'm going through. And these people are trying to take my life. These people are trying to take my life. So I really have no choice but to protect myself. There's the police in the sky still right now that are the main instigators of this whole thing. So this is why it's so important for me to make these videos. If you are watching this video right now, I would please ask that you like the video or share the video, just so that the word can get around about what's actually happening to me. The more people that know about this, the better. The more awareness that I can create about this, the better right now. And I also wanted to just speak a little bit about people that use children as weapons. They weaponize their own children to hurt adults, members of their family. And I looked up an article, and I found this article on a webpage called The Conversation, and it's an article that a lady by the name of Jennifer Harman wrote on the 22nd in April of 2022. And she writes about what it can actually do to a child when a parent does this. It can actually cause the child to lose confidence in themselves. It can actually cause the child to have problems in trusting people later on in life. It can also cause the child to lose trust in their own memories. And it can also cause the child a lot of unresolved grief, and it can cause low self-esteem. So they're just some of the things that I found in that article. Also from experience, I can also say that in a lot of these cases that the parent who is doing this actually tells a lot of lies to the children and other people as well about why there is no relationship between the person that they're doing it to and the child anymore. They will lie to other people about why it's happened, or they'll lie to the child to say why that person isn't in their life anymore. And this is just absolutely heartbreaking to the parent or grandparent or whoever this is being done to, especially if they've built up a really healthy, beautiful bond with the child. It's also very unfair to the child as well to have this done to them, that they have to lose that relationship in their life that was very valuable to them. So I guess what I'm trying to say by saying all of this is just, parents should never take out their negative emotions about how they feel about another family member on their children by using their children in this way. It's just so wrong and so cruel to the child. So I'm going to leave it there. And if you watch this video to the end, I want to thank you all for listening. And once again, if you can, please share the video, like the video, just so it gets more views and it gets circulated more out there so that I can raise awareness of what's actually happening to me. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time, and God bless. Bye for now.